Hi, I'm Dr. Shirley Davis, and I am excited to be here to talk to you about something I'm really passionate about, and that's helping leaders to succeed. Particularly, I'm going to be talking about how to get a seat at the table. If you want to earn a seat at the table, you have also got to not only become a subject matter expert and a thought leader, you've got to be a leader, right? Leadership couldn't be more critical when you look at how the workforce has changed, how the world is changing, and even how the workplace is changing. Leadership is key and critical. Let me just talk a little bit about that. When you look at the global changing workforce and the fact that, most business analysts say that we're living in a decade of disruption, that we're in an era of disruption and change, and the era of the 3 C's, which late Peter Drucker coined it, the era of the 3 C's. He calls it accelerated change, increased competition, and overwhelming complexity. And as leaders, whatever level you are, you've got to be able to navigate through that, right? I'm sure you've all experienced disruptions over the last 5 to 10 years, right? The global recession has happened. We've been through so many wars. We're now much more global. We're experiencing political shifts, not only economic shifts, we're experiencing global climate changes. So much is happening in the world around us. And as leaders inside of organizations, you've got to be able to navigate through change. So leadership is very, very important. As you're in the workplace and you're leading people, we recognize through a lot of research that tells us that people don't leave organizations. People leave bad leaders. And now that employee engagement is at an all-time low, stress, depression, anxiety in the workplace is at an all-time high. Turnover is happening. Job satisfaction is suffering. Low morale is occurring. A lot of that comes back to what kind of leader am I reporting to? Is this a toxic leader that's creating a toxic workplace, a toxic environment that makes me sick to come to work, that causes me to call in sick, and now absenteeism is at an all-time high as well? Look at the results. Look at the research. It's very clear and compelling that at the end of the day, you've got to be a strong leader, and you've got to be nimble. You've got to be flexible. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing. Authentic. People love authentic leaders. They want you to keep it real. They want to know that you're relatable. You need to be human to them. People want to know that you care about them, that you're invested in them. But they also want you to be a visionary. They want you to know where you're going, and they want you to take them there. They want you to tap into their potential. See better in them than they can see in themselves. Help celebrate their success. Invest in them. That's strong leadership. I want to end with this, is that we always have to continue to be growing, right? We've always got to be looking for ways that we can be the best us, right? To be the best leader. And part of that comes from ensuring that we're walking in what I call the 4 V's, right? Continuing to have a vision for what success looks like for you and making sure that that is aligned with the success of the organization. Second V is that you've got to be visible. You've got to consistently get out there in the organization. Not just let your results speak for themselves, but you've got to speak on behalf of your results. You've got to get out there, know the leaders, know the business, and get a chance to build those relationships. Be visible. The third one is that when you get that seat at the table, you've got to be vocal. It's one thing to get a seat at the table. It's another thing to speak up. And as I talked about earlier, you've got to speak about those things that are critical to the business. Be willing to have those courageous conversations. Be willing to speak up about things that might not be most popular. Be willing to take that risk. And you've got to be willing to be vocal about what's important to you. Talk about some of those things that are key and critical to your success, but also things that you're seeing right there in your own purview, right? The things that no one else might be able to see. But you've got to be willing to be vocal and speak up. And then the last V is that you've got to add value. Not only know your value, that's very important, but you have to be willing to state your value, and you've got to know your own value and be willing to add that value and let people see what you're doing in the organization. Let your results have a broad impact and continue to upgrade that so that you're always in a position to create value. I appreciate your time. I look forward to the opportunity to come before you again. As I said, I'm Dr. Shirley Davis. I'm President and CEO of SDS Global Enterprises. And I hope that you'll check me out on my website at drshirleydavis.com and my email address and contact information and even my social media sites. Stay connected with me, and I'll be connecting with you. I look forward to it. Thank you.